In this short module we'll discuss first aid kit contents and how to safely use the equipment that you'll find in a first aid kit. Rather weirdly, there's actually no legal requirement to have anything in a first aid kit. The legal requirement is that as the first aider, you should do what's known as a needs assessment or a first aid needs assessment of the environment that you work in, considering the injuries and illnesses that you're likely to see in that particular environment and context. Based on those injuries and illnesses, then you should determine what first aid supplies you need to treat those injuries and illnesses, and that then becomes your first aid kit. In the first aid kit there should be a contents list detailing everything that should be contained in the first aid kit, and this needs to be checked on a weekly basis as part of your facility checks. There's a few things that we can do as first aiders to support basic first aid hygiene. So wearing our first aid apron or a wee plastic pinny to cover our clothing is really useful. Certain bloodborne viruses can be transmitted through any body fluid, so if your casualty throws up all over you, then there's a risk to you. Everybody assumed that the first aid apron was only something that we were wearing because of COVID. We should have been wearing them before COVID, and we should still be wearing them after COVID as well. We should wash our hands where possible up to our elbow before putting on a pair of first aid safety gloves as well. You might want to consider using something like a face mask or a face shield if you have to administer CPR to a casualty that you don't know, and this is essential if there's blood or vomit around the mouth. And you need to be mindful of the fact that you may need to clean other areas of the facility as well, so if there's blood or vomit on the floor, then you may need to do that yourself using a blood spill kit, or you may need to get facility management to clean that. So as mentioned, certain diseases may be transmitted by contact with infected blood, serum or other body fluids. So that would include HIV, hepatitis B and tetanus. Everybody's always really concerned about HIV, but actually hepatitis is one that you should be more concerned about. More people have it and it's easier to transmit as well. By maintaining basic first aid hygiene, then we're minimising the risk to both us and the casualties that we're working with. So making sure that we're always wearing appropriate personal protective equipment, so our first aid apron and our gloves. That's us at the end of this very short module on first aid kit contents. You should now go away and do that first aid needs assessment for your particular workplace and your context and determine what supplies you need to put in your first aid kit. If you have any questions, you can bring them with you onto your practical day, or again you can post them in the forum on Canvas.